Insta360 has just revealed something entirely new, and it's not another camera. It's their first drone. They're calling it the Insta360 Antigravity. This isn't just another quadcopter. It's an ambitious move by a company that's always been focused on action cameras and 360 video. And what makes it even more interesting is that, while Insta360 is getting into drones, DJI is reportedly preparing to launch its first ever 360 camera. It really feels like the two companies just swapped places overnight. But today, we're focusing on the Antigravity. This drone has been in the works for years, and it finally looks like it's ready to shake up the industry. Not just with specs, but with an entirely new way to think about aerial video. Right out of the gate, the Antigravity drone stands out from the crowd. It's lightweight, at under 249 grams. It avoids a lot of the flight restrictions and regulations that heavier drones have to follow. That's a big deal for casual users and creators who don't want to deal with paperwork and licenses. This weight also makes it more portable. You can toss it in a small bag and take it anywhere. But don't let the small size fool you. This drone is powerful. It can shoot full 8K 360-degree video. That means you're not just getting a front-facing camera or a top-down shot. You're capturing the entire environment in every direction. This is where things really start to separate the Antigravity from anything DJI has made. DJI drones are great for traditional cinematic shots, with high-end sensors and gimbal-stabilized cameras. But the Antigravity is playing a different game. Instead of focusing on a single angle, this drone records everything, everywhere. Can reframe your shot later, zoom in or out, rotate, spin it, like having a flying camera crew with you at all times. And for solo creators or storytellers without a big team, that's a game changer. The design of the Antigravity drone also tells us a lot about what Insta360 is aiming for. First, it's got a unique look. The body is clean, futuristic, and not something we've seen in DJI's lineup. On the front, you'll find dual sensors. These are likely for obstacle detection, helping the drone avoid trees, buildings, or other hazards mid-flight. That's especially important when you're filming in 360. You don't want to be constantly worried about what's outside the frame because the frame is all around you. Moving to the back, there's a large metal heatsink and even a cooling fan. That's unusual for drones, especially lightweight ones, but it makes sense here. The drone is likely processing all that 360 video in real time. That's a huge task, especially at 8,000 resolution. Most drones just save the footage and let you handle the editing later. The Antigravity seems built to do some of the heavy lifting on board. This could mean quicker exports, less post-processing time, and a smoother workflow overall. The battery system is another standout feature. There's a big compartment at the back that looks like a swappable battery bay. And yes, it supports hot swapping. That means you can quickly switch batteries without powering the whole thing down. For creators in the field, every minute counts. This feature helps reduce downtime and keeps you in the air longer. It's all about efficiency. Let's talk about the build quality. The arms look strong. They're not flimsy or thin like on some smaller drones. These arms seem ready to handle strong motors. And speaking of motors, these look like brushless ones with thick windings. That usually means better power, efficiency, and durability. The propellers are also familiar. They're the foldable two-blade design, like what we see on DJI mini drones. This makes storage easier and helps keep the drone compact so far. All signs point to this drone being more than just a fun experiment. It's a serious piece of gear aimed at content creators. If you've ever used the Insta360 X3 or X4, you already know how powerful reframing can be. Now imagine that, but in the air. If the flight performance matches the design and spec sheet, we're looking at a brand new way to tell stories from the sky. And there's one more angle to consider. Insta360 is entering a space that DJI has dominated for years. DJI has the name, the reputation, and the sales. But Insta360 isn't trying to beat DJI at its own game. Instead, they're creating a whole new category. This is what makes the Antigravity so exciting. It's not just another drone with another camera. It's a different vision for what drone storytelling can be. Over the next few months, we're going to learn a lot more about this drone. We'll see flight tests, sample footage, user reviews, and probably even firmware updates. But the first impression is clear. Insta360 is here to change the game. The anti-gravity drone could become the go-to tool for creators who want freedom, flexibility, and a full 360 perspective. And while DJI is preparing its own 360 camera, it's clear that both companies are heading in bold new directions. Insta360 wants to fly, and DJI wants to capture everything around you. The future of content creation just got a lot more interesting. We're only getting started. Stay tuned. Section 2. Deeper dive features, ecosystem, and creator strategy. Of the Insta360 anti-gravity drone, Insta360's new anti-gravity drone isn't just a hardware product, represents an entire ecosystem shift. It connects with Insta360's already powerful lineup of apps, editing software, and AI-driven features. Let's break down how the company is turning this drone into more than just a flying camera. First, there's the software. One of Insta360's biggest strengths has always been the Insta360 app. It allows users to reframe video, add transitions, use AI tracking, and even auto-edit content in just a few taps. If the anti-gravity integrates fully with this app, creators will have the ability to shoot and post professional-looking footage in minutes. We're talking about full mobile editing workflows, no laptop, no timeline headaches. Just reframe, and upload. Then there's the possibility of deep integration with platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Insta360 knows where its creators publish. The editing app already exports in vertical, horizontal, and square formats. This means the anti-gravity isn't just for filmmakers. It's also for influencers, educators, travel vloggers, and anyone who shares video online. In many ways, it's a social-first drone. Let's now look at the control system. While DJI has a reputation for intuitive controls, Insta360 may take it a step further. There's talk of gesture control, up-only flight, and simplified modes for beginners. That could open the door to users who've never flown a drone before. Imagine just tapping a subject on your screen, and the drone automatically starts orbiting with cinematic moves, all while recording full 360 video. This is where AI can really shine. Speaking of AI, that's a huge part of Insta360's DNA. With their other products, they've pioneered AI tracking that locks onto subjects even when they move behind obstacles. If this comes to the anti-gravity drone, it will be the first 360 drone with intelligent tracking built right in. You could run through a forest, and the drone would follow without losing you, even if you disappear behind trees for a moment. It's next level. There's also a possibility that the drone might support modular accessories. Insta360 has always liked modularity. Think of the 1R or 1RS systems, where users can swap out lenses, batteries, and brains. What if anti-gravity allows swappable 360 modules, or perhaps even traditional single-lens cameras? That would give users incredible flexibility in how they shoot. Battery life is always a challenge in drones. If Insta360 can deliver 30 minutes or more in flight time while processing high-res 360 footage, that would be a breakthrough. It would rival or exceed many traditional drones. Combined with hot swappable batteries, you could realistically film for hours on location with just a small bag of gear. Storage is another issue. Shooting an 8K 360 video generates massive file sizes. the drone includes high-speed internal storage, or even SSD expansion via USB-C, that will go a long way in helping creators avoid bottlenecks. And with Insta360's background and software, we might see clever file compression that doesn't sacrifice quality. Another area to watch is stabilization. We know Insta360 has some of the best digital stabilization in the industry. Flow state stabilization has made even handheld video look like it was shot with a gimbal. Bringing that to drones means you might not even need a traditional gimbal. System: fewer moving parts means less weight and more durability. Now let's talk about the strategic side. Insta360 knows this drone will compete with DJI on many fronts. But their goal isn't to copy DJI's to serve a different creator. The Antigravity is for people who want to capture everything now and decide how to frame it later. It's for users who want to focus on storytelling, not piloting. That's a bold angle. They're also smart in the way they launch. Insta360's to do global rollouts with lots of YouTube creators and ambassadors. Expect to see the Antigravity appear in cinematic YouTube travel vlogs, short films, and gear review channels. This strategy worked for the Go 1 and X series, so will likely work again here. Pricing will be key. Insta360 can keep the Antigravity under $799. It will attract a massive group of buyers. That's cheaper than many DJI models with similar pros-to-Selmer performance. Combined with its lighter weight and unique 360 capture, it could quickly become the most talked about drone in its class.